For the very latest, we can cross to Kyiv and speak to our correspondent, Gulliver Cragg. Gulliver, what's the current state of electricity and heating in the capital?
Well, officially on Sunday, the city authorities in Kyiv said that they had stabilized the situation and everybody was connected to the grid again. That doesn't mean that people aren't having power cuts, though. They've reverted to the system that's been in place since the first wave of these massive attacks on electricity infrastructure on the 10th of October, which is of rolling power cuts that stick more or less to a planned schedule. And the authorities have promised that no one will be without power for more than 5 hours in a row from now on in the capital. We'll see how that pans out. Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor, was saying this morning that he hoped very much that they would be able to stick to the timetables, but clearly that's not going to be the case all the time for everyone. And Vitaly Klitschko also said that residents of Kyiv should expect these power cuts to continue into the spring, and that's without really factoring in the likely effects of new Russian attacks. The spokesman for Ukraine's air defense systems, Yuri Ignat, has been talking about that. He says that the Russians are able to launch these attacks more or less once a week, or perhaps an interval of a little bit more than a week. That's because that's the time they need for their intelligence to work out where would be the best place to strike. And they're also doing it on something like a weekly basis in order to send a lot of rockets at the same time to try to overwhelm the air defenses, because, according to Yuri Ignat, although the Russians do have quite significant stockpiles of ammunition left for these strikes, they are beginning to run out, particularly of the most high precision missiles. But so basically, if you think about it, it's Monday now. The last massive attack was Wednesday. It took until Sunday for the situation to be stabilized and for most of Kyiv to be back to a situation where they had power at least most of the time. But Ukrainians may well be expecting another massive attack in 2 days' time on Wednesday.
Yeah, those strikes are incredibly debilitating. Meanwhile, Gulliver, have we seen any signs of movement on the front line?
Well, at the moment, there isn't much movement in terms of the front line shifting and any localities shifting control. But Ukrainian authorities have said that they are seeing signs that Russians may be preparing to leave the occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plants. Local authorities there, the exiled local authorities actually in Zaporizhzhia, they haven't confirmed this. It's coming from the head of Energoatom, the atomic energy company in Ukraine, and from Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to President Zelensky. But that may be something to watch in the coming days. For now, though, from Enerhodar, or positions near Enerhodar, which is where that nuclear power plant is located, there was again shelling across the river overnight. 30 rockets hit areas near the Ukrainian-held town of Nikopol, though the authorities at the moment are saying that there are no victims. There's also been, as I think you were saying, continued shelling of Kherson and other areas on the front line also in the east.
All right, Gulliver, thank you so much for that update. That's France 24's Gulliver Cragg reporting from the Ukrainian capital.